ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਜੌਨ ਟੋਰੀ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਸਤਾਵਿਤ 2022 ਆਪਰੇਟਿੰਗ ਬਜਟ ਦੀ ਰੂਪਰੇਖਾ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। उन्होंने दस्सिया कि टोरंटो सिटी काउंसिल ने 14.99 बिलियन डॉलर के ऑपरेटिंग बजट नूं प्रवानगी दी है। उन्होंने कहा कि इस बजट विच मौजूदा कोविड महामारी और इस नाल पैदा हुई वित्ती चुनौतियों नूं संबोधित करना, जनतक सेहत दिशा निर्देशों के नाल इकसार मौजूदा सेवावां नूं सुरक्षित रखना, आर्थिक रिकवरी नूं समर्थन देण लई पहलकदमियां नूं तरजीह देना अते वातावरण अते समाजिक तौर ते जिम्मेवार निवेश करना शामिल।
I strongly believe this is a good and responsible budget for the city. The 2022 budget will continue to deliver the largest COVID-19 vaccine campaign in Canada. It will, for the first time, invest in an emotion-centered care model at city long-term care residences in order to provide the best possible care for the residents there. It will hire 62 new frontline paramedics, which will continue the city's multi-year staffing plan for Toronto Paramedic Services, which has seen hundreds of paramedics hired. It will lower small business property taxes by 15% for many, many small businesses. It will expand sidewalk snow clearing to every neighborhood across the city. And it will restore TTC service to pre-pandemic levels while at the same time freezing transit fares. That work to ramp up TTC service started last Sunday with 17 routes seeing increased service to restore it to the way it was before the pandemic began. Now, over the course of the budget process, because we have an entire process from the day that it's put out by the staff to today, we have worked with councillors to make sure that we're making further investments in some key areas, which you'll hear more about over the course of the meeting today. And I look forward as Mayor and also with the Budget Chief, Councillor Gary Crawford, to supporting a number of additional initiatives in the budget, including the following. First, expediting the delivery of 300 additional housing opportunities for people experiencing homelessness who are currently in the shelter system. Second, supporting hospital-based violence intervention programs like the BRAVE program at Sunnybrook Hospital. Thirdly, hiring more bylaw officers to support the expansion of Rent Safe TO, a program that helps to look after the interests of tenants in apartment buildings across the city, as well as those in multi-tenant housing, and noise bylaw enforcement. So we would like to have additional licensing and standards officers to help with those areas, the Rent Safe, the multi-tenant housing, and noise enforcement. Fourthly, speeding up the elimination date of late fines for adults and teens for the Toronto Public Library system so that that elimination can begin immediately. It was something that was provided for later in the year, but by allocating some additional funds, we're able to have that decision take immediate effect. And last but not least, funding the continuation of the Oakwood Vaughan Youth Space, which is something that is going to be very important in that area of the city, something that is in place and needs to have funding for it continued. We will provide more funding support for the strong neighbourhood strategy and community partnership and investment program grants, something that has impact across the city, and we will provide support to the 519-519 Community Centre on Church Street.